Hello everyone, we've got a new challenge today, trying to reach to 600. I hope my opponent is here, the Mr. Plank, by the rating of 21.9. So he's playing e4, so should we go back to our beloved Sicilian? I feel like playing a Sicilian. So let's play something that I didn't play yet. Okay, so I will play e6. And if he goes for the open Sicilian, then I will slightly um, go in some other direction, not playing knight c6 as I usually play. I will play the move a6. So this is called if I believe it's called the Khan variation of the Sicilian. So he's playing his pawn to c4, trying to build up a strong pawn center, so-called Maruti bind. Now he plays bishop to d3 rather than placing his knight on c3, which would be much more logical, at least to my eyes. So now I have a couple of choices. I can just play a move like d6 and trying to play some sort of an hedgehog type position with his pawn on a6, d6 and e6. But I think the move knight c6 is actually more principled here, because I immediately create pressure on the knight on d4. And if he takes my knight on c6, then it's kind of strengthening my pawn center, so it should be in my favor. So I think perhaps maybe we'll play move like bishop e3 to try to keep the tension in the center of the board, but we will see. So he chose to take. So now I have this nice central pawns. Now white is threatening to play his pawn to e5 and to chase away a little bit my knight to the ugly square. So let me put my pawn on e5. I kinda like my pawn on e5, controlling some nice central squares. And now in the future I might think about getting one of my pieces on d4, maybe my knight. So he just played the bishop e3. Looks sensible. Maybe he wants to push his pawn to c5 and to create some unpleasant like situation for me where his pawn is making me some problems. So I'll play d6, controlling this square. Now my bishop is also ready to come out of the game. Perhaps I will harass him a little bit with this move knight to g4 right now. This is a slightly annoying move for him to face, in my opinion. Let's do this. Let's see what he does. Not 100% sure that I really need this move, but I'm asking some questions, putting some questions to his bishop on e3. So I don't think that white should allow me to take his bishop on e3. It's quite an important piece, defending all of the dark squares in his position. So yeah, he decided to retreat. Now I have a couple of choices. So if I want to be very ambitious, I might consider a move like queen h4, threatening checkmate in one move. And after he plays h3, to go back to f6 and to claim that my queen is very active on h4. But I might also claim that the queen is very exposed on h4. So let's be slightly more conservative. Let's just develop pieces. Bishop e7. I don't think I can really avoid this kind of move in the long run. I must castle at some point. So yeah, now we are more or less coming back to the same type of position. So yeah, he replayed his bishop on e3, and now I'm ready to castle. So black's position is solid enough thanks to this pawn on c6, which he gave me a couple of moves ago. So what could be my plan for the next move? So one thing that I could do is simply to develop my pieces, put my bishop on e6 perhaps, maybe develop my queen to the more active square. But another plan that I might think about is to try to maneuver my knight around a little bit, perhaps like this, and to try to create some pressure in his position. So, what should I do? Okay, I'm not entirely sure, so let's just develop the bishop. It's a natural enough square for the bishop, putting some pressure on his pawn. Now in some positions I might consider putting my queen somewhere on this diagonal and sacrificing my bishop here, but it's probably kind of too ambitious at this point. I think in the long run my plan should be to break the center with a move such as f5. So let me try to think how can I reach this kind of breakthrough. First of all, let's put the knight here. I feel like the knight is not doing too much on f6. From d7 it's putting some control on this important square on c5, which I like. And also I'm clearing the way for my f pawn to go forward. For example, if I want, I can actually play this move right now, pawn to f5. Question is, do I really want to play this right now? The reason that I'm not completely sure that I want to do it is because I'm slightly opening up my king position, and also after he will take my pawn, I will give him this square on e4 for his knight. So let me do one more kind of preparatory move, queen c7, connecting my rooks. I think I will pick up a better moment to break with f5. I think it's still a bit too early for this kind of action. Maybe I will wait for his knight to, let's say, jump to some other square, like a4, and only then maybe I will break with f5. Or even now, he placed his bishop on c2, so maybe he's trying to put pressure on my pawn on e6, but I'm really not too worried about this because it's covered by a pawn. So f5 at this moment probably is still not too good. I can also go for another strategy entirely by playing such a move like knight to c5, allowing him some pawn structure damage. So let's do the most flexible move, rook to d8. I really feel like I will need this rook on d8 regardless of what white will do. So it's like just a general useful move, because I might need some overprotection for this pawn on d6 in the future. And also I might be considering playing a move like knight to c5 in the future, and once my d file would be opened, my rook would be already situated on a good square. So also what I like about the move rook d8, that I'm not forcing the game, I'm kind of passing the move to him and kind of asking, what exactly are you doing here? Because to me at least it's also not entirely clear what white's plan is. So he played knight to e2 right now, so he got his knight out of the center. So I'm thinking that playing f5 at this moment might be the best chance that I can get to play this move. Let me consider it. This is definitely a bit risky. It's not like I'm just playing a move which I'm completely sure about. Okay, let's do it. Once again, I'm not entirely sure about the correctness of this move, but at the same time I'm really not sure what else to do, so I ran out of useful moves to make. So in such case you should make the game more concrete. So yeah, he's just playing his knight to g3. So now I will play knight to e4, trying to attack my pawn on d6, but this is exactly the reason that I've played the move rook to d8 beforehand. So now I could play this move knight f6, and now my d6 pawn is covered. Yeah, so he tried to penetrate on e6 with his knight, but my queen is guarding this square fairly easily. Now I have a chance actually to break in the center of the board. I'm quite tempted to do so. He has no threat, this pawn is covered, so let's play d5. I really want to start advancing my pawns in the center as far away as possible. Now this is my main asset, this pawn in the center. I think white played the last moves a bit carelessly. I don't think he should have allowed me to reach this kind of position with my pawns. So now we have an end game, which I slightly prefer black's position. So I'm thinking about playing my pawn to h6, trying to force his knight into e6, but perhaps it's not such a great idea, because the knight might be a little bit annoying for me. Let's think. Okay, let's play this move. So my idea is to force his rook to take my rook, and now I'm controlling this c file. Now I'm ready to penetrate, perhaps to c2 if I want. Yeah, he played his knight to f3. This is probably a good move, attacking my pawn on e5. Now I can advance this pawn forward, or I can advance this pawn forward. What should it be? I can also just defend my pawn. Maybe that's the best I can do, but then I'm losing control over the c1 square, so he could actually also challenge my rook. Okay, let's play knight to d7. I feel like this is my best chance to keep the tension. I don't want to move either of the pawns, because then I create permanent weaknesses for myself. Now he will probably play his rook to d1, but then I will just play my pawn to d4. And my general idea now is to try to penetrate on c2, and of course in the first chance that I'll have, I want to bring my king closer to the center now that we've reached the end game. So now it's quite a critical moment. Bishop g5. What is this? I'm not too sure about the idea of this move, but I don't have too much time anyway, so I will... Oh my god, this is awfully passive. Rook to a1. No, this is a very bad choice by him, in my opinion. I'd rather give up this pawn than playing so passively. Now let's get the king closer. White is quite passive here. He's deprived of almost any chances of counterplay. Yeah. Now I really want to play my pawn to d4, trying to get my king even closer, but then I might run into some tactical problems. Okay, really low on time. Let's play king f5. I want to get my king centralized as possible. He attacks my pawn, but now I have just bishop d6. I think I might... The time situation a little bit affects me. I think I'm not playing the most accurate moves here. I allowed him some counterplay against my pawn on e5. Now he attacks this pawn. I think I can just cover it with my knight. Yeah, now this tactic, I saw it before, but I'm not too afraid of it. I think I have the upper hand here. These passed pawns are quite... Oh, he blundered this bishop. Okay, now we are getting into time trouble. I cannot part of this pawn, it's very important. Yeah, now it's me against him and our blitz abilities, let's say. Oh, this is... I'm really low on time here. But I should be quite easily winning here, actually. Yeah, my pawn is defended by the rook, so I'm okay there. Now my plan would be to capture his pawn and then to march forward with my pawn on a6. The problem that we are playing without an increment. But yeah, I should be quite easily winning here. My pawn just runs too fast for him. Yeah. Let's see. Knight c2. Too short on time. Let's play knight c2. Okay, I have 10 seconds. I don't know if I would be enough. I think I really misplayed the position. Yeah, I've badly misplayed. Yeah. Now it's just a draw. Yeah, that's a draw. Oh, the time... Why? What did I do here? Why I let his pawn advance so fast? I should have just played knight to d5 here. Just stopping any counterplay. Yeah, so I was completely winning, I think, at the end, and the time trouble just killed me. But that's okay. I'm really trying to play for quality rather than just playing fast and trying to win. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this game. I enjoyed it very much, actually. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.